If I were to tell you Princess Diana was a die-hard Sony fanboy, I'd be lying to you, like I've been known to do on occasion. However, she did buy Prince Harry a PlayStation for his 13th birthday. In his book, he mistakenly claims it was an Xbox, but what do I know? I'm sure he received the time machine earlier that same day. What game do you even buy for a member of the royal family? Well, if Prince Harry was turning 13 in 1997, and I know he was because I looked it up, he probably played Final Fantasy VII just like everybody else did. Except me, of course. Let's pull the camera back for just a moment. Celebrities are people too. I know it's hard to believe, but just trust me when I say that some of them have in fact played a video game. Or video games? We don't know. For sure. Take a look at Robert Pattinson. Does he strike you as the type of guy who has played Final Fantasy VII? Well, do I have a shocking revelation nobody could possibly see coming right now?
Do you have a favorite video game of all time?
Mine, I think it's a lot of people's favorite game, Final Fantasy VII. Probably one of the only times I've cried in my life is when Aerith dies.
It's a very impactful performance for sure.
Yeah. My first love.
As far as favorite games of all time are concerned, Final Fantasy VII isn't a bad choice. The fact he claims one of the only times he's cried in his life was because of Aerith's death is weird, if that's actually true. Perhaps the second time he cried was when he found out Final Fantasy VII Remake wasn't a remake of Final Fantasy VII, but a remake of Final Fantasy VII. In fact, he loves it enough to go on the record a second time talking about it.
What game? I mean, I wouldn't know. Doesn't matter. Don't continue.
Final
Have this
Fantasy
conversation.
You don't know Final Fantasy? No.
It's the best. It's a love triangle where Aerith or Aerith, depending on what version of the game you have, it's sometimes mistranslated. And then Aerith
This is crazy.
And Aerith,
Okay.
right at her peak, gets killed. This is how every guy figures out what love is. And then it never, that's the ideal woman, and then it never gets any,
Either the one that's gonna heal everything and the one in the short skirt.
He actually knows about the Aerith name thing. You see, I thought that kind of thing was reserved for, strictly speaking, geeks. If he put an ounce of his talent toward making game-related YouTube videos, I'd be even more out of a job than I already am.
Damn it. How is this so hard?
You know, I wonder if Robert Pattinson knows that Cloud Strife's Japanese voice actor Takahiro Sakurai provided the voice for him in The Batman 2022. Speaking of voices, Jack Black happens to have one if you weren't aware. He used it to voice Eddie Riggs in a little game called Brutal Legend.
Oh man, don't tell me I've been slaying hot girls this whole time.
Not only does he provide the voice, but he also appeared in this glorious main menu.
You sure you're ready for this? Because what I hold in my hand is not just gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your soul. Go ahead. Open it. If you dare.
The acting is pretty good here. He should really consider pursuing that as a career if Brutal Legend 2 falls through. Hold on, for somebody named Jack Black, he certainly is named Thomas.
No. I was always black, but I was not always Jack.
Who were you?
My legal name is Thomas Jacob Black.
Jack Black did release a song in 2023 called Video Games where he sings to us about how he doesn't really play them anymore. As far as celebrities go, he has a larger resume than most. In the song alone, he mentions God of War, Fallout 4, and Red Dead Redemption 2, so that's a start. He does have a quote-unquote gaming channel here on YouTube, so we can go ahead and add LEGO Star Wars, Fortnite, Minecraft, Doom Eternal, Mortal Kombat, and FNAF to the list of games he's known to have played. He also plays games with his lethargic teenage sons, who are probably a proprietor of the gaming brain Jack Black seems to have nowadays. When Dead Island 2 released its announcement trailer back in 2014, there was a character who sounded eerily similar to Jack.
Hold on! Seriously, bro? Sweet! On, dude, time to split. Freaking awesome!
Turns out it was the guy who voices Po in the animated Kung Fu Panda show and video games.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
I don't know if he's played the Kung Fu Panda games, but he did play the game based off the Jumanji movie. What do you know? Mick Wingert makes his second appearance this video as the voice of Jack in this game as well. Jack Black does voice himself in the King Kong game.
Oh, I can't believe it! This is it. The Island of the Skull.
I guess Mick Wingert wasn't available that day, so they had to settle.
Yeah, it's too dark.
He's definitely played more than what I've listed here, so I think it's safe to say Jack Black is a certified gamer boy. But enough about the boys, what about the girls? I hear you scream. Well, let's start with Mila Kunis. She's apparently a World of Warcraft fan who was a member of several guilds with multiple characters.
I find hard to believe that you are a video game. Like, how fanatical are you about video games?
Let's just say that I had to quit the game for a good going on year now.
Which one?
World of Warcraft. Well, yeah, you gotta be in a guild, because you gotta do raids that, you know, require 30 to 40 people, but now with the expansion pack, they're gonna have raids that only require like 10 people.
So you and who else is in your guild?
In my big guild? Okay,
Well,
so that we have
yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, all right.
Since having her kids, she seems to have quit cold turkey, but there are definitely some WoW dudes who had no idea they were doing whatever it is you do in that game with a movie star. World of Warcraft had some interesting commercials with a star-studded cast of ambassadors. Ozzy Osbourne, Vern Troyer, Chuck Norris, Mr. T, Jean-Claude Van Damme, William Shatner, Willie Toledo, Aubrey Plaza, and Silvio, who you probably recognize from this meme.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
The jokes in these are so outdated, but I think they're cute. It's a little time capsule of the gaming zeitgeist back then. Surprising absolutely no one watching this video, there are quite a few commercials that feature celebrity cameos. How about this Ocarina of Time 3D ad with Robin Williams and his daughter Zelda?
The first time I saw you, I knew we'd be linked forever. For you, I traveled to the four corners of the world. I faced adversity. I became a hero.
Dad.
I saved your kingdom.
Dad.
Yes, Zelda?
Are you mixing me up with the princess again?
Hard to say. You're both pretty magical.
Did he name his daughter after F. Scott Fitzgerald's wife? Well, it's funny you should say that. Of course not!
No, it's Zelda for The Legend of Zelda.
Outside of that, Call of Duty, Portal, Half-Life, and World of Warcraft were among his favorites. After his death in 2014, Blizzard immortalized him in WoW as a tribute to his life. Speaking of celebrities who aren't here anymore, Michael Jackson is one of them. He was a big Sonic fan and also had the chance to compose music for the series. He even attended the first E3 back in 1995. He's been pictured playing Tekken and Sonic, but some of his other favorites were X-Men, Jurassic Park, the martial arts games, as he puts it, so I assume he meant the popular fighting games at the time. Aside from playing games, he also appeared in quite a few of them. He had his own game on the Sega Genesis called Moonwalker, where you pretty much played through the Smooth Criminal music video. And he appeared in Space Channel 5 as the titular Space Michael, and even provided his voice for the game.
What? Hello, listen. This is Michael. Listen, we've got a state of emergency here. Space Channel 5 is being attacked by robots. I can't believe it. Everybody back to the head of the office immediately. Immediately!
He even got this little thanks next to his name in the credits. Here's a little commentary from the editing chair. I noticed while I was finding the music I was going to use in this part of the video, at the end there was a little memorial to Michael Jackson because Classic Tyler uploaded this a couple of months after his passing, so thank you Classic Tyler. Scramble Training was a Sega Motion flight simulator and Michael Jackson just so happened to be your ship commander. He narrates the entire training and his voice acting is pretty masterful.
We're not going to make it. Watch out! Fire! Fire! Bring her back! No, we're not gonna make it. Brace yourself. Lock on! Fire!
This is less of a game and more of an interactive ride. There was a Wii game called The Michael Jackson Experience where the gimmick was you played Just Dance but only Michael Jackson songs. I'm sure the people loved it.
The moves Michael's performing are completely out of control. Take a moment and watch some of these moves from Billie Jean. Do you have any idea how hard it is to do some of this stuff? I will give you a hint. It's hard.
Why the hell is it $50 on the Walmart site right now? Okay, maybe the real question we should be asking ourselves is why Mario Party fucking 10 is $60. Michael Jackson also appeared in Ready to Rumble 2 alongside Shaquille O'Neal and then US President Bill Clinton with the First Lady Hillary alongside him.
Give me one good blow.
The Sprouse twins of Sweet Life fame did some Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver commercials.
I collect Pokemon, trade them, and engage in heated battle. Mostly he loses, like now.
There was also this behind the scenes video, which is really cool for the purposes of this King Giorgio episode.
We really take our Nintendo DSs anywhere.
There's more muscle in that thumb than there is in my whole arm.
Yeah!
I'm not sure if this was their introduction to Pokemon, but at the very least, Dylan Sprouse stayed with the series, as we can see from this MLG interview where he's asked his thoughts on the then upcoming Pokemon Sun and Moon.
In general, I'm very optimistic. A lot of the design going into them has been with competition in mind. On top of that, they all have this kind of island theme that is very coherent, and the characters are very coherent. And it's all bouncing off each other with the mechanics to look really fun. We'll definitely be playing.
Dylan also did some commentating as well as competing at certain Project M tournaments, surprisingly. You'd think he'd be an Ice Climber main, but alas. Speaking of his twin, he's also a gamer. They have a lot in common for some reason. Here they are playing New Super Mario Bros. Wii with the elderly at the Belmont Village Senior Living Center. Cole Sprouse also used his influence as a celebrity to visit people's Animal Crossing islands and do a little insider trading via turnips. Elijah Wood, not you too!
I was playing Animal Crossing, and I became really keen on the turnip market specifically.
There's also an interview where he talks about his favorite games of all time. Oh, I wonder what your favorite games are. Minecraft? World of Warcraft, like everybody else? Fortnite? Call of Duty? What?
What's your favorite video game of all time?
You know, it's probably a tie between Majora's Mask and Shadow of the Colossus. When I was young, I actually couldn't beat it. But I revisited it as I got older because I kept my N64, and that's when I really fell in love with it. You know, it used the same engine as Ocarina, so I think it allowed them to just kind of focus on the narrative more.
Yeah, it's dark, too.
It's dark. It's really dark.
Video games, what's your favorite?
Right now? Dragon Age.
Why? Tell us about Dragon Age.
Because it's so good, and it's made by BioWare, and it's so awesome.
Alright, you got me there. You see, I'd never expect somebody as famous as him to have such refined taste, but here we are. Okay, this is adorable. Apparently, they attended the GameCube launch party when they were little kids. Who else was there? Bradley Cooper? Scarlett Johansson? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? George Lopez? I'm sorry, Alan, what? The dude from Alvin and the Chipmunks alongside Saul Goodman and George Costanza playing Smash Melee. These images are so powerful. Oh, there's the cast of Scrubs too, why not? I'm honestly surprised Ashton Kutcher bothered showing up at all. In an old interview, he talked about how addicting GoldenEye was for him. It was so bad that he stopped playing games altogether. Or so he says. What do you know? There's Mila Kunis again. Paris Hilton with a GameCube. That's pretty crazy. Maybe not as crazy as her buying a PSP. That's hot. This isn't from the launch party, but it is GameCube related. There was a moment in human history where the members of Evanescence played Donkey Konga together. The Nintendo Fusion Tour was a music festival / Nintendo marketing event. A lot of these now hugely popular bands were just starting to get their foothold in the industry, so this was kind of a perfect opportunity to get some exposure. Of course, the real prize was getting to play Billy Hatcher at work. This event ran for 4 years, starting in 2003. Some of the bands invited blow me away. The Plain White T's, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, the list goes on. Though I fear the Panic at the Disco dudes are not beating the fake Gamer Boy allegations.
What do you guys play? Anything?
Last night I actually tried one of the new micro things, I guess.
What'd you think about that?
That's pretty sweet.
Really? You liked it?
Yeah. I mean, I only got to play Pac-Man on it, but the graphics are pretty sweet.
My Chemical Romance, unsurprisingly, has some of the best interviews from that tour.
I don't know how we feel about clashing with the Nintendo image. I think the closest
Nintendo thing we come close to is probably Resident Evil. I mean, which just happens to be my favorite game, but
Nintendo didn't make Resident Evil, but his heart's in the right place.
I think the potential for being known for a video game is huge. I mean, I remember getting Tony Hawk 1, which is kind of, to me, the pioneer of putting punk rock in video games. Nintendo gave us a GameCube and all these wireless controllers and these games to play, and we were really psyched on that. They gave us Metroid and Mario Kart, and we got to test out the new Donkey Konga, and that was really fun. At the end of the night, there's not much to do but sit around till bus call. And we're not big on drinking or anything like that, so we that's when we play video games. We usually play video games all night, and then if we wake up early, we'll play them until we have something to do.
Fallout Boy has some interesting interviews from this tour.
Yo, you're super hot.
Thanks, I try. You know, I've got my moments. After a guy comes in your ass, you get back out. Or not your ass, but like the guy sucked it out. And why I know that, I'm not telling you. I have a ton of gay porn, actually. He knows. I'm a major yaoi freak.
Did they actually play any video games or what?
So what did you name your Nintendo dog?
I don't even know. I think it was just like Mark or something, or Jason.
I like it, yeah. He named his Larry.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I played Zelda, the Twilight Princess, and I think it's gonna be amazing.
Twilight Princess and Nintendogs. You're telling me nobody wanted to try Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory DS? Fallout New Vegas weirdly had tons of product placement at Kim Kardashian's 30th birthday party.
I don't feel 30, but I'm a little freaked out.
Here's Kim, pictured with her Vault Boy cake. I assume Bethesda invited Aaron Paul because he sort of looks like a New Vegas resident come to life. That's right, I brought him up just to talk about how in Breaking Bad, there's a scene where he's playing Sonic 06 multiplayer. Would you believe me if I said Sonic makes another appearance in this show? They play Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing too. I loved this scene where they randomly start to discuss Resident Evil 4.
Left 4 Dead, yo. The way them bitches get all cranial when you cap them in the head, it's like, booyah!
No, man. Resident Evil 4 takes it by a long shot.
Please, brother, you front.
No, man, seriously. That chick, the one you gotta rescue, she's smoking, bro. And then you're like the last undead dude on Earth, so how can you not be dipping into that? Talk about inspiring a brother to kick some zombie ass.
Here's an actor who actually portrayed a video game character. Tom Holland played Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie, but did he even play the games?
I assume you've played this game.
I have played this game. This game was actually my first introduction into the Uncharted world.
Okay, I'm actually gonna hand this to you.
You're gonna watch me play, okay.
To see, I'm gonna see if you actually know yourself and know how to play.
Oh.
Because I don't know how much gaming you actually do in your spare time.
I am a much more outdoorsy person than I am an indoorsy person. Oh, goodness. I'm gonna go this way.
Nice.
Go. No, I just love being outside. Oh, I died.
You died.
What level is this? Is on a hard difficulty?
I think this is normal.
No, it's not. I refuse to believe.
It's okay. I can take over at the later section when it gets a lot harder.
The truck's in the way, man. Fuck off.
In interviews, he claims he's a big fan, but to me, it seems like something he's supposed to say to promote the brand.
Video games you can only play for the rest of your life.
Okay, it would be the Spider-Man game. It was one of my favorite games.
Any video game that you want, that you can imagine, and you can star in it, be whoever you want. What game do you pick and who do you play?
I would like to make a Jak and Daxter movie. I played it quite a lot when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite games.
Days of my life.
I played them with my brother. It was one of my favorite games.
It feels like he only plays a game if it's part of a sponsorship.
Hey, Tom, you playing Final Fantasy 14?
He is not playing critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy 14 online, even if they do have a free trial that includes the entirety of A Realm Reborn and the award-winning Heavensward expansion. Up to level 60 with no restrictions on playtime, Zendaya comes off as the gamer in that relationship.
What video games does Zendaya play?
Here's the thing, I'm not really good at playing video games, but the Spider-Man game I've done all by myself.
There's a bit on the Spider-Man game that Zendaya couldn't do, and I was over at your house.
And I would not let him play for me.
And she wouldn't let me complete this moment for her.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
right.
I want to figure it out. I
Right.
want to do it.
No, right.
You have your own level.
But you couldn't do it.
You have your own thing going
You
on.
have your own. There's multiple games you can have going. You can have yours. I want to do mine.
Even though both of them have appeared in Fortnite multiple times, Tom Holland is the certified fake gamer boy. But does it really matter when you have 12-pack abs? You know, Tom Holland and Zendaya are far from the only celebrities to appear in Fortnite. Timothée Chalamet appeared as a part of the Dune collab. Funny enough, dude used to make YouTube videos at youtube.com/moddedcontrollers360.
Well, now to present Game of the Year from the upcoming films Wonka and Dune Part 2, please welcome YouTuber Modded Controller 360.
I wonder what kind of videos he made. Did he make videos about modded 360 controllers? Well, it's funny you should say that. Yes! I still lie awake at night thinking about how I missed out on the Bruno Mars Fortnite skin. Not because it totally came back in the time it took me to make this video, which was 10 months, by the way. The Weeknd, Ariana Grande, Travis Scott, J Balvin, Anderson .Paak, The Kid Laroi, LeBron James, and a bunch of random YouTubers appear in the game as icon skins. They got Lady Gaga now too. She doesn't seem like she'd be much of a gamer, but this tweet chronicling her Bayonetta playthrough says otherwise. Like, of course, that's the game she'd like. It makes all the sense in the world. You know, Lady Gaga's Fortnite debut did get Kesha to download the game, and she famously doesn't play video games at all. It's funny how celebrities get to these random player characters in our games. Sylvester Stallone being in Mortal Kombat or Warzone as Rambo is one thing. That's a movie character he just so happens to portray. Snoop Dogg and Nicki Minaj in Warzone is a whole different beast. While on the subject of movies, there were so many James Bond games, man. There's one for nearly every movie, not to mention games that aren't even based on anything. Of course, Pierce Brosnan's iconic portrayal is most famously immortalized in GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. He doesn't seem like much of a gamer, but even he has played GoldenEye. Here he is, playing with Jimmy Tonight Doe Fallon. Mamma mia, he is awful. Well, at the end of the day, he's Pierce Brosnan and I'm King Giorgio, so you win this round. They remade GoldenEye, and that went about as well as you'd expect.
It's not great, it's not terrible, and it's not really memorable either. It really does feel like a Call of Duty title with a 007 coat of paint.
However, Daniel Craig was cast as Bond in the game instead, seeing as he was playing him in the films at the time. He even lent his voice to the project, which really made for an authentic alternative universe type scenario where GoldenEye was a Daniel Craig movie.
Hand it over! Maybe you insist?
Even if the game isn't very beloved, it was an interesting experiment to say the least. Daniel Craig is actually quite the gamer himself. Here he is, playing his PSP on the set of Casino Royale. Apparently, while they were filming Quantum of Solace, which also happens to have its own tie-in game, Daniel Craig was late to work because he couldn't bring himself to stop playing Guitar Hero. Aside from that, he's a big Halo fan and has been known to go bloody mad in Grand Theft Auto the Bastard, though he admits to feeling quite guilty after the ordeal. I love this quote from him. "Have to pick my time well. If my girlfriend sees the box, then it's all over. If I get some free time when she goes away for the weekend, I'll go and play some games." It's fun to see these big-time movie stars act a fool behind closed doors, wasting their good looks and rippling muscles on building gaming PCs. Right, Henry Cavill? This guy doesn't just play The Witcher, he plays The Witcher 3. Oh look, he plays WoW. Very original.
You nearly lost quite an important job.
Absolutely, yeah. I was playing a game called World of Warcraft. I missed the call from Zack Snyder to tell me I got Superman.
But like, did you hear the phone ringing?
I did.
And you chose to ignore it?
Absolutely.
But you paint, is it World of Warcraft?
Warhammer.
Warhammer, I'm a fool.
PlayStation or Xbox?
PC.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
you're a PC gamer.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft, The Witcher, Warhammer. He's really fond of the letter W. I think that's pretty cool. Although that hasn't stopped him from also playing Overwatch of all things.
George!
What?
You're telling me the Symmetra who just threw my comp game might have secretly been Henry Cavill? Guys, The gun is officially going back in the drawer. It's gonna be okay. It's always so interesting when a big A-list actor's likeness is portrayed in a video game. Call of the Dead was a COD Zombies map where you played as actors Danny Trejo, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Michael Rooker, and Robert Englund. Tekken 8 randomly added Negan from the Walking Dead TV series, which looks absolutely as insane as it sounds. In Spider-Man games, they usually go with an original design, but the games based on the Tobey Maguire films did use his voice and likeness.
Back off, ugly.
You saved my life.
Don't worry about it, lady. I gotta go.
Wait, before you go, I lost my purse on one of the rooftops around here.
On a different rooftop?
Yes.
Different from this one?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Mortal Kombat has had a plethora of guest characters, and unsurprisingly, some pretty big movie actors have appeared in its rogues gallery. We have Arnold as the Terminator, Anthony Starr's Homelander, John Cena's Peacemaker, Robert Patrick as the T-1000, Sylvester Stallone's Rambo, and even Ghostface with his original movie voice actor. I like Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk. It makes me laugh about as much as John Wick in Fortnite, or John Wick's voice in Shadow Generations.
Not a big deal. You were the most requested hack to make a character that you could have sex with be your character.
Yes. And how on earth did Conan O'Brien manage to sneak his way into Death Stranding? Elijah Wood voicing Spyro the Dragon randomly is so funny, I have to say how funny it is out loud in this script. Liam Neeson was my daddy in Fallout 3. Can we talk about it?
Hi there. I'm your daddy, sweetheart. What kind of person are you going to be?
Who am I? I'm award-winning actor Nicolas Cage, and I was added as a survivor in Dead by Daylight for some reason. Not even as a part of a movie franchise like so many others, it's just real-life actor Nicolas Cage sent to the DVD universe. If I'm being honest, it's so much better that way. The need for an escape unites us as people, I think. Remember, your favorite celebrity is a human just like you, possibly a wealthier and more talented human, but the point still stands. We put a lot of these people on pedestals and forget it's really not that big a deal that you're famous. You gotta deal with Jamie level 4 drink damage just like the rest of us. You're not that special. The biggest movie star in the world and the saddest coal miner in the cave get off their 40-hour shifts at the same time, just to end up together in an online lobby. Do you really think I'm going easy on Tom Holland and Marvel Rivals? Poor Peter Parker. At least in a game, you can really stand on equal ground. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support me, check out my other videos. You can also join the King Giorgio Discord if you want to see more of me. Link in the description.